Hey everyone! So before I get into the topic of today's video, I just want to say thank you for all the nice comments that you left on yesterday's video. I wasn't really sure if it was a good idea to do that video or not, but you know what? I've been on YouTube now for like, I don't know, 3 years, something like that. And I'm just going to do videos on whatever I want. Really, I think you kind of figured that out maybe when you saw the video that I did about the animals at the park, because you know, there is more to life than makeup, and occasionally if I want to do a video that has nothing to do with makeup, I'm gonna do it. There's something that I made cooking wise for the first time a few weeks ago, and I really liked it, and I thought, wow, you know, I bet a lot of people would not know about this, what it is, or how to make it, or a lot of people would never have even heard of it, because I like to experiment with cooking. I like to make some things that are maybe recipes that are from other cultures and things like that, and if I can figure out a way to film that, because I was trying to figure out, you know, where would I set up the tripod with the camera, like I just couldn't figure out editing wise how difficult that would be to film a cooking video. But if I can figure it out, I'm gonna do it, because it isn't a dish that I think anybody would have ever tried, because they don't have restaurants like that make that kind of food that I know of, unless you live in, like, you know, New York City or something like that. But anyways, I digress. Today's video is a review, and I'm also going to do a demonstration on the Bobbi Brown Long Wear Cream Shadow in Bone. And the reason why I got this is because I had back-to-backed my Painterly paint pot, and so I started using my MAC Soft Ochre paint pot instead, and I found it was just too yellow. My skin is like as pink as it gets, and so the soft ochre was way too yellow for me, but I wanted something along those lines, but I wanted something that was more like a creamy off-white color that had less yellow in it. So I started searching around, and I love using cream eyeshadows as an eyeshadow base, even though that's not really what they're made for, but I enjoy doing that. And so I started doing some research, and the only off-white cream eyeshadow that I could find was the Bobbi Brown one in Bone. And here's what it looks like. Now it does have just a hint of yellow to it, but not anything like the soft ochre. Let me hold up the soft ochre next to it just so you can see what I mean. See, the soft ochre is much more yellow. The Bobbi Brown one is more just like an off-white. And so that was the only one that I could find, and I thought, well, you know, I've always wanted to try the Bobbi Brown cream eyeshadows anyway, so why not? So they come in these little glass jars. They're $24. I bought mine at Sephora, but you can of course get them at any department store that has a Bobbi Brown counter. And if you get them at Sephora, they only have like 6 or 7 colors of these, but if you go to a Bobbi Brown counter at a department store, you have like 20 different colors to choose from, so there's a much better selection. And I think I may pick another one up of these at some point, because really I just bought this to use as an eyeshadow base, but I think I would like to get another one in an actual color that isn't, you know, straight up neutral. I mean, I do love neutrals, and that's probably what I'm going to get, but what I mean is I'm probably going to get one in a different finish in an actual color, because this is just a matte, and most of them probably have some kind of you know, texture, like maybe a little bit of shimmer or something like that to them. So anyways, yeah, I really love this. I'm glad I bought it. Did I say the price is $24? The texture on this is different than a MAC paint pot. MAC paint pot is more creamy, and this is more dense, and I feel like you have to work even faster with this than you would with a MAC paint pot, because otherwise you're not going to be able to put your shadow on top of it, because it's probably going to dry down faster. But I don't feel as if you would have any issues with creasing or anything like that. However, this is a pretty potent, powerful formula, so you just want to use the tiniest little bit. And you probably noticed when I held up the MAC paint pot next to it that there is more product in this. This jar is a lot bigger, and so you do get less product for more money. However, you don't need to use as much, so in the end it probably balances out. But so just use the tiniest little bit. And the way I use it is I just stick my finger right in the jar, because I find that the warmth from my finger heats up the product and makes it blend and apply easier. If you want to use a brush, if you're one of those people that doesn't like to stick your fingers in your products, that's fine, but just keep in mind, if you do that, that you want to just put the tiniest little bit on the brush. Otherwise, you're going to end up with too much product. You're not going to be able to blend it out the way you want to, and you're going to have some problems. Okay, so let's get started right away with the demonstration. So I use my ring finger, and I just rest. I'm not even like digging in the product. I'm just going to rest my finger on the product, and the tiniest little bit that I get on my finger, I'm going to blend right onto my eyelid, and then I'm going to just bring it up all the way across the entire eye area. And that's going to cover the discoloration that I have. I'm going to do the same thing with my other finger on the other eye. It's going to cover up that discoloration and just give my eye makeup a nice blank canvas to start with. Okay, and then what I'm going to do, and by the way, I've used this underneath expensive eyeshadows from department stores, and I've also used it under very inexpensive eyeshadows from drugstores or a place like Ulta or something like that. So I've used it with all price point, and it doesn't make any difference. It works well with everything. Okay, so now I'm going to take this eyeshadow, which is MAC Blanc type, right here. One of my favorite eyeshadows to use. And I'm going to take a MAC 224 brush, which is a big fluffy blending type brush. And I'm going to put that all over the entire eye area. And I'm applying it, but I'm also like trying to blend it at the same time into the skin and through the Bobbi Brown product. Put some more on my brush and do the other eye. I'm just going over the whole area with the Blanc type. The Blanc type is a matte square finish, and it's just this wonderful, creamy, easy to blend shadow. At one time I had heard that MAC was going to do away with this eyeshadow, but it hasn't happened yet. But just in case, you know, if you've ever been on the fence about getting this, I would really highly recommend it. It's a wonderful eyeshadow, and you will not regret purchasing it. Okay, next I'm going to take MAC Tempting, which is this really pretty brown color right there. And I'm going to use my Rite Aid Renewal crease brush. It's not called a crease brush though. They don't really have names for these brushes, but I know that some of you went out and purchased that brush because I recommended it and you really like it, so yay! Yay for good recommendations! Okay, so I'm going to put a little bit of Tempting on the brush and I'm going to go right, I go just above the crease because my eyes are slightly hooded, so I like to go just over the crease area. And just blend like crazy with the Tempting. Yeah, that Tempting is not, it's not an eyeshadow that I hear a lot of people talk about, but it's such a pretty shade of brown. Okay, now I'm going to move on to the other eye and come back to that in a minute. Put some more product on there. Okay, I think I had put too much on my brush when I did that first eye. Okay, that looks pretty even. Now I'm going to take my other Rite Aid Renewal eye brush, and this is the one that's like a smudger or an accent brush. And I'm going to take a little bit more of that MAC Tempting and put it on there. And I'm going to go right along the lower lash line. Right in my lashes. And then I'm going to take my Khroma Beauty, the Quickie mascara, and just put a quick coat of that on. Okay, I just got a little bit of mascara on the eyelid eyeshadow area there, so I'm gonna clean that up with a Q-tip and I'll be right back. Okay, so that is the finished look, and I will list all the other products that I used in the description box. And so yeah, I would recommend the Bobbi Brown Long Wear Cream Shadow in Bone, and that's it. I'll see you next time, you guys. Bye.